first and foremost. We have the honor of General Yang Chee here today. I've been in Minnesota many times in the past, many years ago. I have been friended with other generals, but with the general, I'll try to be friends with you, General. Again, I just want the audience to understand the history of this July 22nd, Lao Hmong, is a July 22nd National Lao Hmong Recognition Day. It is not a simple recognition day. It was proclaimed by the United States government way back in 2001. So let me give a brief history so you all know, young and old, to take it to heart that July 22nd every year is your day of honor, is your day of national unity. Retroactively, if you don't hear me clearly, let me know. I want to make sure that you understand, you hear me clearly, so my message is going across the room and people will understand a little bit about the history of July 22nd. The history of the U.S. 15-year civil war in Laos was the main course, or main cause, not course. See, getting old, blind. The main cause of this historic recognition. However, due to government secrecies, the war had been kept from the public for 35 years, which means that the war was kept from the public 15 years from 1960 to 1975. Then, in 1975 to 1995, 20 years. 20 years plus 15 years of that secret war. The first time ever that the United States formally recognized the contributions, the service and sacrifices of the Lao Hmong SGU in Laos, particularly Military Region 2 under General Van Pao. We're talking here, we include all the military regions, those who serve under many generals, especially Military Region 1. In Laos, there were 5 military regions, and I know all these military regions or military leaders. If I say anything wrong, correct me. In Laos, there were 5 military regions. Region 1, 2, 3, and 4 eventually were U.S. SGU's soldiers. Military Region 5 was the Royal Lao Armed Forces. So keep in mind that it took us 15 years in Laos to fight. Then we came to America since 1975, 75 to 95, that's 20 years. The war was and had been kept as a secret. The public didn't know much why the Hmong and the Laotian were here. So, in 1981, Jerry Daniel, my boss, he was the CIA case officer, came visited me and a lot of his followers, a lot of his co-workers. Jerry Daniel, in 1981, said to me, Yang Chee, America will eventually make the Laotians, Hmong, Lu, Khmer, Mien, Yao, the ethnic groups in Laos, especially military region 2 again. I have to stress that because Jerry worked in military region 2 under General Mang Pao. The United States of America will make the Lao Hmong people and the SGUs, quote unquote, stand tall with dignity across America, across the world. In 20 years, which means that should be 1995, okay? 1995, not before that. So then, Jerry left, and he left in 81, back to Thailand, to get the Lao and Hmong refugees coming to America. 6 months later, he passed away. Jerry died in 1982. I kept that words, his solid promise that the United States will eventually make the Laotians, Hmong, Lu, Khmer, Mien, Yao, and others proud and stand tall with dignity across America. I personally was advised in many ways to be very careful of doing this National Lao Hmong Recognition Day. Anyway, because of that war, the secrecies and also the enormous contributions, sacrifices of the Laotian people, military region 2 only, the military region 2 soldiers lost 35,000 soldiers. It's on the record. For that, July 22nd was the day that the committee, which we formed, including myself and very high-level American military officers, including former top CIA veterans, soldiers, helped me put together the July 22nd, 1995 Recognition Day, which took place in Denver, Colorado in 1995. On this day, July 22nd, 1995. For those of you who were there 27 years ago, can you raise your hand? You were there? 1, 2. 那叫我们公路工程下来的话，就几年的过来都能够下熊了呢。See, a few, Dr. Yang Colonel too long. Yes, we buried. After that, there were roughly 5,000 people attending that first time ever Recognition Day. Now today, we saw a few left. I just want to let you know again that July 22nd, 1995 in Golden, Colorado, it was a recognition event that was supported by the U.S. Congress. The first U.S. Congress to support this July 22nd, 1995 was Congressman Daniel Schaefer. He was the first U.S. Congressman to put together. And during that time, that day, 38 Vietnam national medals were awarded to the Lao Hmong SGU, I'm sorry, to the Lao Hmong SGUs for their sacrifice and services for the United States and for the country of Laos. 那个都在路练头胸爬，腿爬就我就进了这度。Those who received medals during that day, only 3 left. 38. Ever since then, ever since that 1995 National Lao Hmong Recognition Day in Denver, in Colorado, Golden, Colorado, the Lao Hmong American Coalition was established, and the ATC, which stands for American TV Committee that I mentioned earlier, dissolved. The Lao Hmong American Coalition was established to carry on the recognition of the U.S. and keep on promoting this day for generations to come. We have been celebrating July 22nd, since 1995 for the last 27 years, many times in the state of Minnesota. We have congressmen, generals here in the state of Minnesota, many times in the past. The first time was 1996, and I hope that a lot of you still remember that day. Anyway, July 22nd, because of the significance of that day and the service and sacrifices of the Lao Hmong people, that day has been ever since celebrated across the country. Today, we're here again to celebrate that very special day. Today is the 20th, let me make it clear, it's the 27th commemoration since 1995. 27. And it's the 20th anniversary. The difference is that it's been 20 years since the United States Congress simultaneously and concurrently recognized the Lao and Hmong people with a congressional resolution. Congressional resolutions, House Concurrent Resolution 88, and that bill came in during President Bush administration. I want you to know again that the bill is not dead. It's still going on, even though the president had no time to sign because the Hmong were falsely labeled as terrorists. You know that? Very serious. And we took care of that. We, meaning I myself, went to Washington, D.C., and that was taken care of on December 26, December 26, 2007, President George W. Bush signed H.R. 2764 into law, automatically relieving, meaning freeing the Hmong and the Montagnard from being falsely labeled as terrorists. So we are now again a free people in this great nation of ours. I want to conclude this in a way that today we're celebrating July 22nd. We have to remember those who put too much of their lives into this, Americans and Lao, Hmong, all those. Without juries, proposal, there would have never been a National Lao Hmong Recognition Day like this today. Jerry Daniel was the last CIA case officer who left Long Chen with General Van Ha on that day. On that day, what day? May 14, 1975. The last day when the communists took over. It's a day of shame for us, including Americans. It's a day of defeat for us. That's exactly what Congressman Dan Schaefer said, that day, May 14, should be a day that all should remember that that's a day of defeat. It's a day of shame for us. So we have to change that meaning that July 22nd, 1995 is the new day for us, a day of recognition, calling on the Lao and Hmong people to come together with respect, with honors. And today is your day. Everybody, all Lao Hmong. This bill was sponsored by the full House and Senate of the United States. It's calling on the people of the United States. Listen very carefully. This HR Concurrent Resolution 88 was a bill from the United States government calling on the American people. Look at that bill, read that bill very carefully. It's calling on the American people to recognize that July 22nd is the National Lao Hmong Recognition Day, and past that, calling on the American people to recognize the Lao Hmong people, men and women, across the country, with appropriate ceremonies and activities annually. Read that bill. I'm not saying this by myself or from me, it's that bill. So I'm pretty emotional, but I'm happy that the General and all the elected officials are here. Should you have any other questions, you can call me or you can talk to me later. Thank you, Xia, for doing this for us too. Xia is a key person here. I want to recognize Xia. Xia, would you stand up on our behalf? Cú hành muốn mình cú hành đây nè, tôi cha đến này của cha chung. Thì còn này phố thì lúc xa lên ngõ nó cha chạy nè. Mà ta mang sờ có bộ ấy cho khó bị tôi cú hành. Yeah. Okay, nhau cứ. If clear này lòng ta nữa, you are welcome to take the congressional record. It's a congressional record, that bill. And also, when the General speaks, General, I would like to ask you to read General Idaho's speech, okay? You are a General, and General Idaho was the key person who went to Laos in 1960 and became the main person for that war. Colonel Belair sang. So General Idaho left a speech. He spoke on that day, July 22nd, 1995 in Colorado. And we have copies of that speech, so I would like for you to read his speech. You know what? July 22nd does not belong to any group. July 22nd, National Lao Hmong Recognition Day belongs to all Laotian people. But it's calling on the American people to recognize you. You know that? It's very strong, very powerful. Now it's time for us to look at it, to think about it. I want you to conduct yourself to be worthy citizens of this country because of that recognition. Be worthy citizens. Be loyal to this country. Be resilient. will keep this country great, like what we always had until today. Let me say a few names, because today is their day, because of them. Not all, but a few in all. I cannot mention all the names. Jerry Daniel, again. Everybody knew and knows Jerry Daniel. Portville, General Colonel Bellet. Those were the ones that helped us, fought with us against the communists and Laos. In America, I mean those who passed away, okay? We will remember them, we will recognize them and memorialize them. In the state of Minnesota, Congressman Bruce Bento. I have pictures of him with me and I keep looking at him. I think of him as a hero. Congressman Dan Schaefer of Colorado. These are the congressmen who passed away, but their legacies remain with us. Many others. But keep those in mind that they are the ones who push and elevate our status in America. I want to end my remarks. I took the longest. You will probably, I know you're tired of it, but it's very important that you keep this history in heart. I want to thank you all for coming. And again, today is your day. We will honor each other. We will do both, for the living and for the passing. Later on, the program that includes the passing will be presented to the general and to the colonel. We only have one or two colonels here who are the highest ranking Laotian military leaders. Colonel Tulong, and Colonel Lamsan. Qua lên là trong này sự của chính nếu sửa tàu mà rất là cụ sa của nhà này em nông tàu thì đan này người ta chưa biết là khởi tập kế là nè nên sao tàu mới đến đây là cho mình sửa cho anh tới là ba tàu phê mong thế là chùa lọt gần đó nên chỉ kiến nên có không kiến là chờ tàu phê cho nên tàu sản xa ta chờ phê cho nên thầu là mua phê liệu và tu sa tu nhiên phê mong nhiên khiến của ta chơi tàu phê là mua phê lìa nó là từ US government ngoài cho nên mua phê lìa để phê giờ nên tu sa tu nhiên của nó có chơi gì sẽ phê một chia sẻ I have all those documents. Feel free, you are a free group of people now since then. So be happy with it. I hope to see you again next year celebrating July 22nd. We'll do big. You will see some pictures that we had celebrated July 22nd in different states, particularly Wisconsin, Michigan, state of Minnesota. We had 20, 30 airplanes flying over with what we call aerial salute to the Lao Hmong people. Never happened in the history in America, but it did happen because of you, our contributions for freedom. Thank you again.